Welcome back to another quarantine edition of an Investor's Journey podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Barbera, and in this episode, we bring back Mr. John Barr.
It's the first time I've actually been on camera.
No, you've been on camera before. We did the Subject 2 one.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. Never mind.
Usually,
It's been a while.
You guys can see that he has a face for radio, so that's why you only hear the market updates. But we wanted to do this special episode. It's been a while that we've talked about it because it's running a business, and this is a lot of things people don't keep in mind. It's not just get deals, make money, and move on. There's a lot of other aspects to the business. And that's precisely what John handles in our business. He handles the operations and the finance. And a part of that is how to squeeze more money out of the activities and the things that we are already using on an everyday basis. So this is what this episode is about, is how to be able to monetize and how to be able to squeeze out more money out of the things that you're going to do on a regular basis. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, and I mean, that's exactly what John says. There's a lot of things people don't think about. It's just like the traditional activities, like go find a deal, put money into it, sell it, make your money, and move on. But there's a lot of other things that can be done in there that really increases your bottom line as far as efficiency, going after rewards points, to where most people say, it's 1%. What's it really matter? Well, it adds up over time, and it definitely does. And for our business, when you get 1% here, 2% there, 0.5% cash back over here, that stuff can equate to thousands of dollars of extra money by the end of the year that you just don't even realize. Or for us, like free equipment. We bought a lot of this stuff, bought computers from just cashback rewards that we get from just everyday purchases we have in our business.
So with that being said, let's get into it. Everything that we're going to share here, it's what we are doing. This doesn't mean that this is the wrong way to do it. This is just what we found out, what we are doing, and how it's been working for us. And hopefully you can take this and implement this yourself in your business to do exactly what we're doing, or maybe get more rewards. So with that being said, what's one of the first ones you want to talk about?
We'll start at the top with our most favorite. It's really fun to go to a gas station and get 20 gallons of gas for 38 cents. He posts pictures of it all the time on Facebook of that, and everyone's like, what? How do you do that? And I always mess people. It's like, it's really simple. You go up, you push left, right, middle, and the price drops to 1 penny a gallon or whatever it is. But what that really is the fuel rewards from Home Depot. And now you don't actually have to be a Pro Rewards member or anything with them to get these. But what you get from that is a commercial line of credit, and it's rewards for spending money within Home Depot. So being in the renovation business, we buy all of our product at Home Depot because of the rewards we do get from Home Depot. And one of the biggest ones we really like is the gas rewards. So we have a commercial line of credit with Home Depot, and anytime we go to buy a project, we put product on that commercial line of credit. And for every $100 we spend, we get 10 cents off per gallon on the next time we go to fill up. So say we go and buy a bunch of paint or something that costs $1,000. The next time I go to fill up on my tank of gas, instead of gas being $2 a gallon, it's only $1 a gallon, up to 20 gallons. So that way I can save a bunch of cash. So where this year alone, I don't think either one of us has really paid for a tank of gas this year yet, because this year we've had so many projects going on that we spent a lot of money at Home Depot, and we get a lot of that stuff back. So even though everyone says, well, gas is super cheap right now. Yeah, when you drive 1,500 miles in a month like I do with a pickup that gets 15, 16 miles to a gallon, that stuff really adds up over time in fuel costs. But if I can subsidize my cost by just purchasing at Home Depot stuff I'm already going to do anyways, it makes a huge difference. So that's probably our number one favorite one that we get to use, that anyone can actually get that's in this business.
And going back to that, I mean, it's already money you're going to spend anyways. So that's the whole point with this. It's already stuff that you're going to do anyways, but now we're saving hundreds of dollars a month on gas by just doing what we're going to do anyway, just doing it this way. Now, by having the commercial account, is there anything special in order to get that commercial account? Do you have to have an LLC or anything like that?
I'm not sure. I know we were able to qualify through our LLC. We put it under the LLC's name, but you personally had to guarantee. So somebody needs to have the credit that it's going to attach to, that they're going to check to see if you're eligible for that line of credit. So I don't think it has to be an LLC, but you can put it under an LLC, but the person has to personally put their credit on the line to qualify for that line of credit.
Okay, and then that line of credit, is there a limit to that line of credit?
They started us with 10,000, but we surpassed that pretty quickly, and we had that requested to have it moved up, which we were able to do. But they started us with just $10,000 on the line of credit.
Okay, so I hope you understand that this is from Home Depot. As John was talking, I was like, that's definitely got to be a keyword, because he said Home Depot like 35 times.
Oh, I'm going to say a bunch more too.
So we're definitely going to use Home Depot as a keyword on this podcast. So what's the next thing?
I mean, I'll just keep rolling with the rewards we get from Home Depot from the everyday stuff. Another thing we get, now this is part of being a part of the ALANO REIA, where you can get a benefit. I think the membership's $200 for the year, and you can sign up through the National Real Estate Investors Association to qualify for an account with Home Depot that gets you a whole slew of rewards. One of them is 20% off all paint, a gallon and up. So if you think about a gallon of paint, how many gallons of paint you put into a project, it might cost you $150 for a 5-gallon. Well, now I'm getting that for 120, and I needed 35 gallons of paint. So you do the math on that of how much money that just saved us by buying something that we have to buy anyways. So that's another huge savings we get by being a part of the ALANO REIA, is that 20% off initially. If you don't do it that way, you have to spend, I think, $7,500 in paint before you get that discount on everything. Or through the National REIA, you immediately get that day one with the rewards.
So if you're not in San Antonio, that you can't be a part of the ALANO REIA, any other state, make sure you're joining a national REIA, right? Not just any regular REIA. It needs to be part of the national REIA. They get the Home Depot benefits as well, so you can join them.
So along with the 20% off paint, you get 2% cash back of everything that you spent in Home Depot gift cards. So for this year, this year alone, we're already getting $1,000 back from Home Depot, because we've had multiple projects going on, and we spent over $50,000 at Home Depot this year already. Now we get 2% cash back on that in Home Depot gift cards. So I got a stack on my desk of gift cards, probably about an inch thick, of all kinds of different gift cards from Home Depot, from just spending money at them already. So as you can see, like Home Depot, we're big components of Home Depot just because of the amount of rewards and the depth that they actually have for all the rewards that they give to everybody.
Yeah, we're not against other providers or anything. It's just that, like, the whole point of this episode is if we can do the same amount of shopping somewhere and get more perks for it, we're going to do that, because at the end of the year, it really adds up.
Another thing with, now these are at both the department stores where we do most of our shopping, at Home Depot and Lowe's, is they have their pro services, to where and they just lowered these. It used to be if you're buying at least $1,500 of product, you could go to their pro desks and they will run it through their, they call them their bid rooms, or their quantity of service product or something like that over at Lowe's. But you can take it to them if you're spending $1,000 or more, you go to them, they'll give you an extra discount on all your product. So for all of our stuff, I bulk buy everything. I'll make multiple purchases for different projects to get to that $1,000 mark, because that can save you an additional anywhere 10 to 15%. I think the best I've gotten was at Lowe's one time. I got 17% off the total order of everything that I was buying. So that is another huge savings that you can have, that while it might be like, okay, 10% off, it's not that big of a deal, but when you add that to the gas rewards, you add that to the cash back, you add that to the paint savings, you're talking thousands of dollars if you're doing even just a minuscule amount of volume, or 1 or 2 projects, 3 projects a year. That can really add up to just where you'd go buy product and the type of reward services that they do have.
And for those of you that are probably thinking, well, I don't do that much volume, this doesn't make sense. You also got to look at it that these are habits that you go building as you grow your business, because as you start off, you may not think of these like being a big savings because you're not doing that much, but you quickly escalate your business. And if you haven't implemented these things, they become harder to do later on as you're growing. So if you implement these habits now, as you grow, those savings get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and Lowe's, their product that kind of combats some of the stuff that, or their equivalent to what Home Depot does, is you can get a Lowe's accounts receivable, and it's basically like a charge account with Lowe's, much like the Home Depot commercial line of credit is. Their benefit is anything you buy and put on that LAR, they call it, you get it 5% off. So, and you can't combine, I've tried going through the QSP for the $1,000, then getting an additional 5% off. They figured that out and they don't let you do that. But if you're getting small stuff where we need tons of little light bulbs and things like that you always forget at the end of a project, and Lowe's is right down the street, you go to them and you get a 5% discount on everything there.
Nice. So what's next?
I mean, just everyday credit cards. That's another portion that we get a substantial amount of rewards and cash backs and stuff on, to where we use the Chase Business Unlimited, to where we don't do a lot of trap. There's a ton of different types of business cards out there for all kinds of different stuff that might give you more percentage back, but you have to use it on airline travel or restaurants or something like that. But for us, we just wanted cash back. And we get 1.5% cash back on every purchase we have. So all our utility bills go on that. Any kind of web services, stuff from Amazon, because we buy a lot of product from them, 1.5%. Any kind of education products, any kind of subscriptions, every transaction we do, we're getting some kind of reward from, whether it's Home Depot accounts or our Chase credit card accounts. To where last year that bought him a new MacBook Pro. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bought him the new MacBook Pro without any additional cash coming out of our pocket because it was used just via points. And this year alone, we've gotten $1,100 in points just from stuff that we're already purchasing from different department stores and different places for all of our products. So it's a huge thing. It adds up, especially if you let it go over time.
Right.
Another thing that we do is far as just cash reserves, to where we don't let it just sit in a bank account. If we got any substantial amount of money and we know what our cash outlay is over the coming week or months, we put our stuff in high yield savings accounts that get 1.5%. Right now they're only at 1.5%. It's not much. They used to be higher. But since interest rates have really fallen down, especially this year, they're only at 1.5%. But 1.5% over the course of the year might equate to $200, $300, $400, $500, $600. Where for in the last 6 months, we've gotten $750 just in free interest on money that we had anyway. So instead of sitting in a bank account earning zero, why not put it in a different bank account that gets you interest? It's not a lot, but it adds up. And now that's what our point is, like just doing those little internal things between the cash backs, the gas rewards, the interest savings accounts, the savings from Lowe's, the paint discounts. We're talking $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 just in extra cash, whether via savings or additional cash into our business that we save on our projects or our bottom line, essentially.
And in those high yield savings accounts, is the money accessible whenever you need it?
Yeah, the one we use a PNC, high interest savings account, and you get, I want to say you're able to transfer $45,000 over the course of a rolling 30-day period. But you can also wire the funds over if you need more, and it might cost you $30 or something like that. So depending on how much cash you need and when you need it, it might cost you $30 to wire it. The last time I think I had to do it, they refunded the wire. So it didn't cost us anything. And then you can set it up to transfer the $45,000 every 30 days if you need that cash. So still pretty accessible, but It's not like you have a debit card or a credit card, or a checking book for that account. So it makes it a little more encumbersome, but if you got your business set up to where you know how much money and you've cash properly, you'll know how much cash you need and when and where to put that money.
So speaking on that, what if you know that you're not going to need the cash for maybe months? Is there a better option?
No, that's really kind of the best option, because previously what I had been using to gain interest on cash reserves was short-term treasury bills bought straight from the Treasury Department. And I was buying 30-day treasury notes that were yielding, back then, they were yielding 1.5% to 2%. So they were actually higher than the interest, the high yield savings accounts. But the problem with those is that they're 30 days. You can't get them back for 30 days. So once that money goes out of your account, you don't get it back for 30 days. So if you hit an issue or something goes wrong, you can get really kind of screw yourself a little bit because that money is not as easily accessible as like a high yield savings account where it's like you just make immediate transfer or wire transfer and you have it the next day. But you can get higher interest depending on that. So you can kind of diversify a little bit. That's like, hey, I know I got $10,000 I'm not going to need for 30 days. You might be able to put it in that if interest rates ever go back above 1.5%, and then which I don't see in any time near future. But a year and a half, 2 years ago, they were paying a higher interest rate. So I was moving funds over to those accounts and then just spreading them out. So instead of putting it all in for, say there was $20,000, I wouldn't put $20,000 in for and then not get it back for 30 days. I'd spread it out over a week. They held the auctions every week for those bills. So then you have every week you'd put 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, and you can set it to roll over and reinvest or withdraw it at the time. So it kind of spreads it out a little bit further.
Nice. So, all right, what else? What other savings do you have? Is that pretty much everything we do?
I mean, that's pretty much all that we do. It's just reiterating that constantly looking for these little things that can save you thousands of dollars over the course of the year and can really impact your bottom line. And a lot of them is like, they don't need, like the rewards for our Chase account. It doesn't even, there's no tax implication because we're paying with it via points. So it's cash you're already getting back and you get to spend dollar for dollar and not have to worry about paying any kind of taxes on it because it's used just from points that you already have accrued on your credit card accounts.
And then another thing that is because of the whole COVID and everything that happened is I have a lot of subscriptions for, the video editing software and podcasts. And when this first happened, what I did was reach out to them. And I saw what discounts are they offering? Are they offering any help or anything like that? Because a lot of them, especially like Adobe, if you threaten to leave, they dropped either 50% or they will give you like 3 months free, right? So that's a huge savings. So drop 50% over the course of the year. I mean, it really adds up. And then you add that to other different subscription models maybe that you're a part of. So you always got to go thinking financially, not just, where can I make more money, but also where can I save more money, right? Where can we run a little leaner, especially in times like this? When times are good and everything, you kind of let those things go because, you're making money, everything's good. But when times are tight, this is when you got to start getting creative and kind of like see where can you get a little leaner on, where can you get a little more savings, a little more bang for your buck. And these are all the different areas that all these rewards, all of these things that John just talking about, and then trying to negotiate different payments moving forward, it really over the course of the year can add up to tens of thousands of dollars that you have that on things that you just would have done anyway. Like that's the whole point of this. This is not like, oh, well, I have to jump through these hoops in order to get this done. No, it's already operating your business as is. It's just getting these benefits while you're doing that. So again, here's a disclaimer. We are not financial advisors. We're not attorneys. We're not accountants. I'm going to put that in the video, in the notes. This is not financial advice. This is just sharing what we do.
We're just two dudes that are just sharing business practices.
Yes, that's all it is. All right. So I don't want to hear any complaints later from your attorney saying that we gave you bad advice or anything. This is what we're doing. And we're always modifying because before, like John said, he was doing the treasury bills and then he realized it didn't make sense. We switched over. So it's always making sure, does this still make sense? It's not something that's always going to work. Things change, things evolve, your business grows, you got to adapt. But you got to form these habits of saving money and where can you become leaner? Where can you make more? You got to build those habits. So as you grow your business, it only makes more sense. So anything else you want to add?
That's really it.
All right, guys. So I hope you got a ton of value from this. Again, this can save you tens of thousands of dollars a year. So I hope this helps. And if you have any questions about maybe some issues that you're not quite understanding on how to do certain things, feel free to reach out, comment below, shoot us an email, wherever we can help, we will. All right, guys. So thank you for watching and I will catch you on the next one.
Bye.